for. In the past, we've just had a panel and we spoke and discussed and exchanged, and sometimes it got a little heated, sometimes it was kumbaya. But we wanted to focus on culture and heritage this year and the economic impact of culture and heritage. And so we've put together a panel of diaspora leaders who will talk about it and exchange with our Caribbean visitors here. But we also wanted to demonstrate culture and heritage, you see. So you would have noticed in the coming in, there was some art. So true Caribbean culture, heritage, art on display. And oh, by the way, some of it is for sale. So feel free to don't let it go back where it came from. Let it go home with you later. And we've got some Caribbean t-shirts for the CTO Foundation. Feel free to put one on when you're leaving. And we're not quite selling them. We'll just do an exchange of $20. It's fair. I mean, if you want to give a little more, we won't say no. But minimum exchange of $20. And one other thing we've got is some real performances. And we wanted to focus and feature the diversity of the CTO.
Okay, Caribbean Week 2017, from all indications, seemed to be a success. I know there's been a lot of hard work that went into bringing it to this point. I'm speaking with Silmer Brown. Silmer is the director for the Americas. Silmer, from all indications, as I mentioned, Caribbean Week seemed to be a success. Take us through the entire process from the start, all the meetings, all the hard work, and what the goal is.
All right. Well, Caribbean Week, the process for Caribbean Week during the week is pretty simple. We theme the week as the business and culture inspiring travel to the Caribbean. And that is what Caribbean Week is about. We have a series of meetings that focus on consumers, retail trade, government members through business meetings, and the media. And all of those elements of Caribbean Week are supposed to come together to encourage additional travel to the Caribbean. We provide a forum to educate travel agents about the product, where government members can get together and talk about strategic plans for the Caribbean, policy decisions that need to be made to improve Caribbean tourism. And here we are tonight raising funds for tourism education of youth or nationals from the Caribbean for that matter.
Yeah, the feedback, I mean, I know it's a bit early, but like a lady just walked past us and she said, fantastic night, I had a fantastic time.
And I'm coming back.
And I'm coming back. Have you heard any preliminary comments in terms of how the week has gone?
Quite a bit of the feedback we've gotten so far indicates that the people for whom we plan these events are having a good time and are seeing some positive outcome. They're forecasting positive outcome from their presence here. But we survey the members and the participants after Caribbean Week to get a real sense of how they really feel about Caribbean Week. I expect it to be positive, but we have to wait and see what we get in writing from them.
Talk to us about the importance of putting on this week, Caribbean Week, which is actually part of Caribbean Heritage Month in the United States.
Well, it is appropriate to have it during Caribbean America Heritage Month when we celebrate the contributions of Caribbean to the United States. But Caribbean Week in itself is critical in this market. I wish we could do two, but there's so much energy and enthusiasm and passion that goes into this. We have to leave some for the other markets that we serve in the United States. But seriously, New York is the heart of our industry, source market. And it's important that we do this. We come to New York once a year to say the Caribbean is alive and well and in close proximity. And yes, we welcome visitors of all shapes and sizes and depths of pockets because we have a product that appeals to a wide cross margin of people.
Without revealing too much, can you tell us about some of from the business side, what are some of the issues that are discussed in terms of, like you said, enticing visitors to come to the Caribbean or to come back to the Caribbean?
Well, we focused on Tuesday evening on romance. Romance because the Caribbean is the #1 resort destination for romance. And we fish where the fish are. Agents are interested in learning more about the product from a romantic point of view. How do they get their clients to the Caribbean to have a seamless, enjoyable vacation, whether it's underwater weddings or wedding on the beach or a wedding strolling up a mountain or into a volcano. So it is an opportunity for us to tell the industry too that we have a product that appeals to your clients. We're close. Send your clients to the Caribbean. They will have an enjoyable experience and they will want to come back.
How important is it for the regular man on the street to know the efforts and the hard work that the Caribbean Tourism Organization does? At I believe it was the Students' Colloquium, a young lady got up and she said, I'd never heard about the Caribbean Tourism Organization. And Mr. Hugh Reddy, he explained it, but how important is it to the regular person on the street to know the hard work that the Caribbean Tourism Organization does to increase visitor travel to the Caribbean?
Well, I mean, it's critical. Our business is about getting people to the Caribbean. So every person who learns about the Caribbean and the things that we do at CTO USA to increase travel to the Caribbean is important to us. I was not disappointed that she did not know, the person who stood up at the Students' Colloquium didn't know about it. I was impressed that she was at the Students' Colloquium because it gave a real sense of some of the things that the Caribbean Tourism Organization does to encourage the best and brightest into the tourism industry. And she was very effusive about her appreciation for the organization once she understood who we are and what we do.
What are some, on a granular level, what are some of the topics that are discussed from a business standpoint in terms of increasing visitor travel to the Caribbean?
Well, I mean, at the policy level, and I don't participate in the discussions at the policy level, but at the policy level, we talk about facilitation and visa, multi-destination travel, and making it easier for visitors to travel from one destination, ease of connection and cost of travel. And that's something that the governments are discussing and grappling with, because intra-Caribbean travel delivers significant business across the Caribbean. At the level of the board of directors, it's about developing a strategic plan that the members can buy into, can contribute to and buy into, so that collectively we can be speaking with one voice about the products in the Caribbean.
Even though emails come out at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can see that you're extremely excited about the hard work that you do.
Well, at 2 o'clock in the morning probably is the best time to send the emails. The internet is working perfectly because everybody else is sleeping. And really, the emails need to be responded to, because when people communicate with you, they want to hear from you within a certain period of time. And if 2 o'clock is when it happens, that's when it happens.
Congratulations on a fantastic job.
Thank you very much, David.
But ladies and gentlemen, won't you please help me as I introduce to the stage Mr. Hugh Riley, who has been at this juncture in the whole aspect of tourism presentation for quite some time. And we'd like to welcome Mr. Hugh Riley, Secretary General of Caribbean Tourism Organization, to come forth and say a few words.
Thank you very much, Irwin. Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure and honor to be here this evening, and I'd like to recognize the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Dominic Fitty from St. Lucia, his consultant and tourism expert, Agnes Francis, also from St. Lucia, Vice Consul for St. Lucia, I believe, as well. Thank you. Over here, we've got Mr. Billy Griffith, who's the Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated. Next to him is Donna Cadogan, who is the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism for Barbados. Dr. Donna Hunt Cox is the Consul General for Barbados at New York. Mr. Hugh Foster is himself a tourism practitioner of many years vintage and a public relations consultant with the Ministry of Tourism for Barbados as well. And he's the only one with a fan in the audience. How about that? Please applaud. Thank you. Thank you. I'll take your card later, man, because you're the first person who's ever applauded Hugh Foster in any audience that I've been at. We've got Dr. Kerry Hall, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Barbados Tourism Product Authority here. I'm almost certain to have missed somebody that I should have recognized. Please forgive me if I have. My name is Hugh Riley. It's a pleasure to welcome you here. My words are very, very short. We need really just to say a couple of things. The Caribbean diaspora is the nucleus, the heart of what the Caribbean is overseas. There is nothing more important than going to a strange land and flying your flag and telling people to come back and break bread and share space with us in the Caribbean. So we really always appreciate it when you come with us, you come among us, and we hope that you will take back with you some of the information that you will now share with people within your sphere of influence, because we need to have them and you back to the Caribbean. And then the final thing that I'll say is this. We know that you have clearly a reason, many reasons, to go back to the country of your parents' birth or to go back to the country of your birth. That's fine, and you go back for a myriad of reasons. But also make a pledge, if you can, this year to go to some other Caribbean country that you haven't visited. So many of us have seen the major cities of the world, including this great one, without ever having seen the island that's shouting distance away from where we're from or where our parents were born. Let's change that. The whole Caribbean is ours. The whole Caribbean belongs to us and to our children. Let them go and enjoy the French and the Dutch and the Spanish and the English-speaking Caribbean like they've never seen before. So thank you for your continued support. Thank you for the knowledge and the experience that you give us in your feedback every day of the year. And thank you so much for being here.
bass, and we're Xavier Strings.
Okay. Caribbean Week 2017, the final night of Caribbean Week. We at Rum and Rhythm. You guys had the crowd going, right? Share with our audience your path to this.
Good Lord, what a first question.
Yeah, boy.
You know? Well, we're Xavier Strings and we're violinists. We love playing a slightly unusual instrument for the Caribbean, what people would call a European instrument, but we were raised to know our culture. We were raised in tambourine music and folk music.
And parang and Bollywood music, and we play everything as a result of it. You know,
Yeah.
so all of our music is actually influenced by the Caribbean cultures. So you'll hear, like earlier, there was a, what's it called, like the jig, Tobago jig, in the music. Dun, 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 dun. All right, later.
But I have to say, it's extremely unusual to see our music, soca, being played by a violin.
Well, it's who we are. We play what we are. Europeans play classical music, we play soca. That makes sense to us. We play soca, we play calypso, we play kaiso, we break it down with the jig, we play reggae and all. We play everything, it's our music.
Okay, how has your experience been here at Caribbean Week 2017?
It's been great. We would have loved to have gone to a lot more of the activities. So, I mean, today we came to this event and it was fantastic. The venue was beautiful. The people were amazing. Totally Caribbean in nature. And we had a wonderful time.
And highly professional.
Yes.
People, everything was really, really well organized.
Yes.
We came a little bit early and people were just buzzing and it was fabulous. It was really good.
And the whole concept of rum and rhythm, I mean, it's different. It's not bacchanal. It's rum, it's classy, but it's about representing who we are, you know?
Are you well received in the Caribbean?
Oh, yeah.
Share your experiences with us.
All right, well, we've done, we tend to do a lot of jazz shows. So we've done Tobago Jazz, we've done quite a few different jazz shows in Trinidad, particularly Tobago. We did something
Last year, or was it the year before, we did Pan Fusion in Barbados, where
Barbados.
it was a pan event. And they thought, let's bring some strings with it, and we kind of
We were like,
collaborated. Pan and violin, it was fantastic in
Really
Barbados.
enjoyed it, yeah.
So we try to go as much as we can to different islands.
Bequia.
We were in Bequia last year, or this year. We were in Bequia this year for the Bequia Music Festival, and we want to be able to go out more to kind of show the rest of the Caribbean what we're about, and show the Caribbean that we can do anything. You know, it doesn't matter what instrument is in our hand. We are Caribbean people, no matter what, and we'll just vibe.
And that's what it is. We want to let the youth know more that we want the youth to know more what it is. We want them to know more and more what it is to do what it is you love. Be you with what you love to do. Yes, the world is a big global place, but we have a voice, we have a say, we have a way of thinking that's not always represented. And when we do represent it, we do amazing things. And you look at the Heather Headleys and you look at Bob Marley and you look at all the different, I'm just calling musicians right now, but there are huge numbers of actors and orators and politicians and taxi drivers just doing their thing and being us. We have to remember that once we're us, whatever medium we choose to be us in, we'll be fabulous.
But you sure do amazing things. Was it difficult being accepted?
No.
I must say no.
No.
Definitely not. I don't know if it is people naturally connect with the music and somehow the instrument translate music. There were people, I remember we did an event where people said, oh, I don't like soca. I can't take soca. Oh my gosh, no. And I said, okay, no problem. And we come on the violin and we play the songs that they said they didn't like. And these people were jumping up and waving up. And
we're like,
it's because
so
the instruments, it allows us to kind of create that divide, bring the divide together, bring the divide together.
Yeah.
So it's different.
Bring the divide
Bring
together.
the divide together. Yeah, it kind of made sense in my head.
It's not Moses, no.
It is.
I'm curious to know, though, what led you to be interested in an instrument that Dave said is unusual for Caribbean entertainers?
Well, it just turns out our mom is a double bassist. She used to tour Europe and stuff as a child, and she tells us, because we have no explanation for it. We were born, she's a double bassist, we were here and she was playing on top of us, and then when we popped out, she put us in front by the first violins and say, deal with them. you know,
We
Caribbean
played in
woman.
an orchestra in Europe, so we've always been kind of surrounded by the strings. And we just naturally kind of, probably when you were like 6, 7, we came and said, Mom, we want to learn the violin. And she was like, okay.
It was random because after 2 years old, we never played. We were never, no longer ever exposed to it. So it was just different for her, and we didn't even know where it came from.
After 2 years, until when?
2 years old until like 6, 8.
That we actually picked up the
Yeah.
violin. And,
We just
and we've been playing
decided.
together for a while. Xavier Strings as an entity only officially started in 2011. But we've been playing in different formats. We were playing in Europe before we actually performed something on the BBC. When we were
Yeah, for
called,
BBC Radio.
we called ourselves Xavier
Xavier.
at the time. But later on we eventually said, okay, let's make us a little bit more original,
We
Xavier
did, not,
Strings.
we did not decide that.
You didn't?
When we came back to Trinidad to launch launch at an event, and we told the MC our name. This
That's true.
amazing woman, I can't remember her name. I apologize. And she just said, we said, okay, so our name is Xavier, and she's like, Xavier,
Yeah.
what was that? Okay, all right, fine, whatever. And she walks on and goes, and I announce Xavier Strings,
Yeah,
and we're like,
very
all right, so that's us now. Okay, fine.
Oh,
Sense. It made sense.
Where are you based?
We are based in Trinidad, and we're all over Trinidad. So we'd love to come back as much as we can, and really, as I said, try and go through the whole Caribbean region and take the music,
diaspora.
and even beyond the Caribbean, take it to Europe, to Trinidad and Tobago, and the Caribbean people are everywhere. They're in Italy, they're in Spain, they're in Greenwich, they're all over the world, and we want to be able to kind of travel and take the music to them, and make sure they feel like they're still at home, even though you're so far away. You know, it's cold, it's wet, but you can still move a little bit. You can still get some vibes because it's your own music. You know.
Let me ask, sisters, so there must be tension between you all. Never
the
mind
time.
the chemistry that we saw on the stage.
The music is the one thing, and I have to tell you, it's the one thing that brings us together.
That's it.
That
Nothing
brings us
else.
so close together because we're
Nothing
totally
else.
different
Chalk and
personalities.
cheese.
Always have been. We've always fought. Always.
Constant.
We never agree.
On
the
anything.
only time we agree is on stage. And literally,
Not
you
even
know.
on stage, just on stage. In
With-
music.
in music.
We will come together and we just have a natural synergy. We will be doing a sound check. We can't remember something. Janine will start some random group of random notes and I will just play something to go with it and it just works.
Yeah.
We don't know. Maybe
makes
it's
sense.
just a sister thing.
Which one is the horrible one?
She is.
I
I am.
am not.
Exactly. You see?
What? Horrible is such a strong word.
Horrible, isn't it? She's bossy as nobody's
not
business.
bossy.
Mwah. And she's a younger one.
Yeah.
where do you see Xavier Strings 5, 10, 15 years from now? And do you consider yourselves to be trailblazers?
I see us in flat shoes.
Right.
Can I just say these heels? Anyway, yeah, we want to conquer the world. We want to conquer the world with what is ours. We want to show the world that we are the Caribbean. The Caribbean has much more to offer than people think. And at every turn, we will keep surprising you and we will keep saying, hey, what's that? Hey, look at that. Oh, look. Hey. All right.
Yeah, and even being a surprise, the fact that Janelle and I, we have a band, we have a full, like a 5-6 piece band.
Six-piece, yeah.
But sometimes, you know, right now in the economy, just a tour, you may have to come with the smallest group, which is my sister and I. But our preferred setting is really a full live band because you could do anything. We can go places you've never heard us go before just with our band. So maybe next time we could have everyone come down, but we come as a 2-piece, as a 3-piece, or as a 5-6 piece band. We have a CD actually, and this is actually the CD that shows the band members: a bass guitarist, keyboard, percussion in the back, and a drummer. And so we try and kind of mix it up as much as possible.
Yeah. So
On that note, I want to find out from you, what are some of the challenges that you have had to overcome during your tenure, 2011 launching?
You know why? We've just not had challenges.
I
I'm
don't-
very serious. We've been extremely blessed. I must say, we've been blessed with family and friends and support, and that's probably the biggest thing. A lot of other musicians around us kind of say, you know, how y'all do it? And one person who's not here today, and she's usually right here all the time, is our mom. Her name is Joan. She's our mother and our manager. And she's usually, she
Momager.
pushes us. She pushes us, and she's there for us, and she makes sure that we make sure and keep grounded and keep together.
and then she runs away on vacation like she has. now,
Yeah.
And goes, oh, you're taking all our time. I can't. Okay, and then,
Yeah, but
and then
so
she comes back.
we haven't had, I would say we haven't had very big challenges. We've had to adjust a lot. I mean, especially say with the economy, it's changing, and it just meant that every time you have to re-strategize. What do you do different? How do you make it more relevant? How do we keep doing what we love to do and still keep current? You know, and we've been okay.
Segueing off of that, one of the things that I've noticed in covering Carnival and covering crop over in Barbados, that once it's over, regular traditional music is playing on the radio. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, we love Caribbean music, so we try to infuse it as much as possible into every kind of set that we do. Even us, we play outside of Trinidad and Tobago or Caribbean music. We play pop music, we play rock, we play everything. So that today, this was an unusual setting where you would get us strictly playing only local music. We usually try to mix it up because sometimes it's about trying to help people to understand, to pull it into what they are accustomed to listening to.
You want to also give them a sense of voicing. You want
Yeah.
to show them that the range of the instrument as well, because we're proud of what we play. And so sometimes you want to give them something sweet and sultry and then other times you just want to rock out, and other times you want to give them the rhythm.
So you actually play different genres.
We play everything, literally. We play rock, we play hip hop, we play jazz, we play everything, and we play Bollywood music, we play Latin, anything you can think of, we will do it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I want to find out when are you next coming to Barbados and what message do you have for the Bajans?
Oh my God, the Bajans were fantastic.
Bajan vibes.
Bajan, well, the vibes we experienced, we were told that the crowd at Pan Fusion was stush. We did not experience that in any way, shape, or form. So I have nothing to tell any crowd from Barbados. I said, just be yourself. We enjoyed Barbados.
It was great.
Barbados was fabulous.
And we would love to be back there anytime,
Absolutely.
any day, every other day. Maybe go to Jamaica and all the other countries in between. Yeah.
Well, I wish you guys continued success.
She told me she up there. Tell my supervisor I sick. After I need to shoot. I need to go to the pharmacy, but I end up in fire. I will jump up and whining now. Pump it just like a holy gun when I turn around. See my box in the place. If you see me today, don't want to bust the things so I can live. Don't want to take the fire beat so I can live. Don't stay in the pharmacy so I can live. Jump in. Music